Hey everybody, it's your girl Queen Chill Mode, and I'm coming back at you all with episode number 2 of our depth chart series. And in this one, we'll be focusing on the two guard position. We'll get into the potential depth chart of the two guard position along with the expectations for each player. Now, there are quite a few players in the wing areas for the Chicago Bulls that can play the 2 and the 3, the 3 and the 2. So, trying to put together this group has been a little challenging, not knowing for sure what the depth chart will look like depending on where each player will play and how Fred Hoiberg would use each player. But let's give it a try. So up first, we're going to focus on our starting two guards, which will be more than likely Zach Lavine. After returning from an ACL injury midway through the season, we saw a small sample size of the potential that Zach Lavine has. Though there were inconsistencies due in part to him him recovering from an ACL injury, getting accustomed to a new system, trying to find chemistry with new teammates, as well as just knocking off the rust that the long layoff of an ACL injury can have. We got a chance to see some flashes, however, of what Zach Lavine could ultimately become. Now, his all-world athleticism, his ability to make big shots down the stretch, as well as his shooting touch from behind the arc, were still aspects of his game that he definitely still possesses even after suffering such a major injury. Now, earlier this summer, Zach Lavine sat down and talked about him ultimately wanting to develop into being the face of the franchise, an elite player in the NBA. And with that in mind, the expectations for Zach Lavine are extremely high this upcoming season. Now, being healthy and having a full offseason to prepare for the upcoming season, there are a lot of people who are expecting his game to go to the next level. Now, prior to his ACL injury, he was starting to show that he was more than just a dunker, more than just a guy who could get out and win dunk contests. He showcased his outside shooting touch, his ability to score at the rim, his ability to take and make big shots down the stretch. But coming back from that injury midway through the season, his shooting numbers were down, of course. The expectation is those shooting numbers will actually get back to where they were prior to the injury, where he actually shot about 45% from the field and 38% from three-point range. Now, from my perspective, many people feel that Zach Lavine is a star in the making. He definitely has star potential, which is one of the reasons I feel that the Bulls didn't hesitate to match the offer sheet that the Sacramento Kings put on the table. But the next step would be, of course, to elevate his game from just another NBA starting two guard to an elite two guard. Now, as an NBA fan, we've all seen that there are quite a few two guards in the NBA capable of scoring points in bunches. But there are certain factors that I feel separate the elite two guards versus the rest of the pack. And when you look at the NBA, you got two guards like James Harden with his ability to score, his ability to pass, facilitate. You look at a guy like a Jimmy Butler, who's considered to be a top 5 two guard in the league, his two-way abilities. And then you have a guy like a Klay Thompson with his excellent shooting to go along with his even better defense. But all these guys have a lot of things, a few things in common, but the one thing that they have in common when it comes to what makes them elite is that they're able to impact the game in so many different ways aside from just scoring. So the next step for Zach Lavine, in my opinion, to evolve into being able to crack that upper echelon of the two-guard position is to take other areas of his game to an even better level. And of course, the obvious area would be on the defensive end. I mean, he already has the quickness. He certainly has the length to ultimately develop into a solid defender on as well as off the ball. But as far as the area on the defensive end that I feel he could probably use the most improvement, it definitely would be off the ball and just being better aware off the ball. And that's, something that can be resolved by just getting in the film room and just watching countless amount of films and studying what to do versus what not to do. But another area is that I feel that he would be able to take his game to the next level in playmaking. No, I don't expect him to be a point guard or anything like that, but you can definitely make plays for yourself as well as for your teammates, even at the two-guard position. And I think as the season approaches and what we expect to see Zach Lavine becoming a better defender, of course continue to be the phenomenal scorer that he is, but also be a pretty good playmaker for his teammates as well, because if he definitely evolves to the player that he certainly has the potential to be, then the double team, the traps are going to come to where making plays for his teammates are going to be something that's going to need to happen for the Bulls to take their game overall to the next level. But by all accounts, he has the right mindset. He has a positive attitude and improving. He's a gym rat. He's a guy who wants to be great, and says he's willing to work on those areas that he knows he needs to improve on to get to that status. So I, as a fan, I'm certainly looking forward to seeing, what he ultimately can become. If he can become a two-way player, if he can develop into an all-star player to where every year you just know he's going to be in that game. So it certainly should be a fun year for the Bulls. Next up is Justin Holiday, a two-guard, also capable of playing the small forward from time to time. Now, Justin wrapped up his second stint with the Chicago Bulls, and this time around he provided a veteran presence, leadership, solid defensive instincts, and a variety of other skills, mainly his three-point shooting. Now, he played in about 72 games for the team, averaged 12 points a game, pulled down 4 rebounds, dished out about 2 assists, and averaged a steal per game. As far as his shooting was concerned, he shot 37% from the field and 36% from three-point range. Now, despite his shooting numbers being low, there were times over the course of the season that Holiday showed the ability of being a consistent three-point threat. On defense, he did a pretty good job of using his length to provide solid help defense on the perimeter, and also did a good job of playing the passing lanes, hence the fact that he averaged 1 steal per game. But all in all, he has the ability to guard multiple positions, which definitely makes him a great asset to the team. Now, despite all of that, however, there is speculation that Justin Holiday is a candidate to be traded at some point over the course of the season, due in part to his age, the fact that the Bulls' rebuilding timeline and his age kind of are not on that same page, if you will. But he also has a team-friendly contract and those veteran intangibles and qualities that any playoff or championship contending team would certainly look to seek as they make a stretch run. But I, for one, feel that if Justin Holiday is still a part of the Chicago Bulls over the course of the season, what we definitely can expect for him is, of course, to continue to be that veteran presence, continue to be that guy who's capable of starting if need be, should any injuries occur, and also be that guy who can come off the bench and be just as effective as he was as a starter. Of course, our expectations of him is to continue to be a solid on-ball, off-ball, and help defender, and of course continue to allow the floor to maintain good spacing with his solid three-point shooting. Up next, we have Antonio Blakeney. Now, Antonio Blakeney was one of 2 players for the Chicago Bulls last year who was on a 2-way contract. Now, he did a phenomenal job while he was in the G League, as he ended up finishing as Rookie of the Year and was named to second team All-NBA G League. He did get an opportunity to play with the Bulls in 19 games, in which he averaged 7 points, shot 37% from the field overall, but struggled mightily with his three-point shooting at 28%. This past summer, he was a part of the Bulls Summer League for the second straight season, and this time around, he actually led the team in scoring as he averaged 21 points per game during that time. Now, AB's ability to score points in bunches will be an added asset to the Bulls bench. He's a versatile scorer, capable of scoring at the rim, on pull-ups, out of pick and roll, in transition, and occasionally hitting the outside shot, and pretty much anything doing that has to do with scoring, he's probably capable of doing it. But not only is he a versatile scorer, he's also capable of sliding over from time to time and playing some point guard if need be. Now, AB, of course, will have to battle for his minutes at 2 guard, because as I stated previously, we have quite a few guys on the team who are interchangeable at that 2 and 3 spot, namely Justin Holiday, Denzel Valentine, and of course Chandler Hutchison. But all in all, that will depend on how Hoiberg decides to utilize the rotation, of course, and with who, and that will be probably the determining factor of where the minutes will be distributed. But when he is called upon, just expect AB to just get in the game and be the higher scorer that he's capable of being, and ultimately develop into the role that I like to call the Millennium Microwave. Up next, our new two-way player for this year, we have Rawle Alkins. Now, Rawle signed to a two-way contract shortly after Summer League ended. He's expected to spend a majority of the season in the G League, though he could spend at least 45 days with the Bulls as part of how a two-way contract works. Now, Rawle is a player that likes to attack his opponent offensively and has the potential to develop into an excellent defender capable of guarding multiple positions. But however, if he does perform like he did in Summer League, he might just see some playing time for the Bulls this upcoming season. And last but not least, Antonius Cleveland. Now, Cleveland was a part of the Hawks Summer League this past summer, in which he averaged 9 points and shot 46% from the field. Shortly after, he was waived and ultimately picked up off waivers by the Bulls. Now, in Summer League, he showcased his athleticism, getting out in transition for athletic finishes. He also did a good job of creating a lot of those fast breaks with his in-your-face, on-ball defense. This kid is pretty much an energy player, but expect for him, of course, to be a part of training camp for the Bulls. But with the logjam at the guard position, expect that he'll spend a good majority of his time in the G League honing his skills. Alright, y'all, that's going to do it for episode number 2 of our depth chart series, with today's focus being on the two-guard position. Up next, we'll focus on the small forward position. So if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment, and if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. However, if you are a subscriber, thank you so much. I appreciate it. God bless you all, and y'all have a great weekend.